Right. All right. So the Yetzer Hara in this scheme of his sort of confuses you, and he uses opposite tricks because it's about about Bechira and and compulsion. Like he convinces you, he tries to convince you that when it comes to ruchnis, whenever you want to do something, he tells you like it's not really in your hands. You don't have koyach. And when it comes to things in this world, or Lamhasa things, he convinces you how you have to be a go-getter, and it's all in your hands. So I'm not sure where we were up to because I lost the place mark moved, but let's say on page 232, Yarmalach, when it comes to Elam Hazard things, he tells you be careful, beware of laziness and authority. Don't rely on anyone other than yourself. You have the control of what is good for you and what's bad. And you have the power to be active or passive. Exert yourself with all your strength and work with all your abilities. It's all up to you to get what you want from the pleasures of this world. So when it comes to this world, there's none of this business of it's not in my hands, it's all preordained. And no, says the Eitzah, when it comes to in this world, he convinces you how it's all in your hands and you could do everything. Avoid the causes of misfortune, such as threats to your health. Do your best to escape them, as it says, Mishlei, snaring thorns. Those two words, it's a famous statement. One Gemara says, sounds like it's two things. Here he's quoting the pasuk in Mishlei. It's one thing, tzinim pachim, and snaring thorns are in the ways of the crooked. He who values his life keeps far away from them. And like he said at the beginning, the Yetzer Hara knows how to pull out psukim to prove his points whenever he wants. So he'll find this pasuk in Mishlei that makes it sound like it's in your hands. If you value your life, run away from it. It's in your hands. Miller says, of course, it's true that Hashem rewards people who take precautions about their health, but they should not think it's their own efforts. That will give them success in maintaining good health. They should remember that they always depend on the Creator. Right? We have to do our shtadlus, it's true, but we always have to remember that ultimately it's in Hashem's hands. But the Yetzer Hara pulls out this pasuk to show you that it's in your hands. And it says, the Yetzer pulls out another pasuk. Man's foolishness subverts his ways because you're being foolish, and his heart rages against Hashem. The Yetzer interprets this to say that man should be careful to avoid foolishness, is because his fate is up to him. Don't be angry at Hashem if you don't succeed. Be angry at yourself because you're the one who's responsible for your success. That's how he touches up the pasuk of Mishlei and another pasuk in Malachi. This is from your own hands. The Yetzer interprets these words to say, if you're poor, it's your own fault. Whatever happens to you is in your own fault. He plays both sides of the game. When it comes to Avodas Hashem, he convinces you that Kol B'dei Shamayim, not much you could do. When it comes to, and we see people like that. A lot of us are like that. A lot of us are like that when it comes to Torah and mitzvahs. Can push ourselves take it easy. You have to take care of your health, and I am what I am. Hashem gave me these abilities. When it comes to other things that you want in this world, it's only you find all kind of extra strength, and you go the extra mile. Wake up, a woman. Upam, here he says the Chovos haLevavos. It sort of switches the arguments to suit its case. At times he argues that you have no choice. It's compulsion by decree. And you can't be blamed for what you do. At other times he'll tell you, free will to choose. Whatever works for him. Tzahara knows how to switch. The Fatoisko operates to entice you to sin and weaken your resolve. When you're facing Avodas Hashem, he uses these arguments to weaken your resolve. Wake up in targets, but if you wake up, this is already the response to the Yitzhak. And you take to heart what Chazal taught us. Gemara and Brachas. Everything's in the hands of Hashem, heaven, except for the fear of heaven. Serve Hashem as you should. So suddenly now it's mamish the opposite. When it comes to Avodas Hashem, to Yiras Hashem, which is Avodas Hashem, that's in your hands, and everything else is not in your hands. This saying teaches that spiritual choices are up to you alone, whereas all material choices are up to Hashem. So it's the opposite of what the Torah wants to tell you. If you take a lesson, you'll exert yourself in the observance of the Torah. That's where you'll put in extra koyches and you'll say, I could do it. I'm not limited. It's in my hands. I got to do it. With the degree of exertion of one who's convinced his own actions determine his reward or punishment. When you believe that, that's up to me if I'm going to make it big or I'm going to suffer when it. Then you sing a different tune and you act differently, and that's what we have to do when it comes to Avodas Hashem. As Iyov said, for he repays man according to his actions, provides him according to his behavior. I mean, this is the side how you say this, obviously, of all Avodas Hashem, that is schar and einish. It's also one of the animamim Shlema. Shabari Spach Shemai Goimel Tov for something. Yanish Lemisha something. What's the exact words? What are the exact words? The words are number 11. Shem gives good reward to those who keep his mitzvahs and punish those who transgress, which is obviously the whole. That's the ball game. Hashem, really, that's what it is. That's where I'm putting. That's where I'm making the choices. That's what I'm here for in this world. If you don't believe in schar and einish, then there's no purpose of being here. Everything is chance. No reason to do good. Just do what comes to you. What's easier for you to do. Right? We could do what you think is best for you. There's no schar and einish. Let the best man win. Steal, murder, do whatever you want to get what you need and what you want. So, obviously, it's not what we believe. We believe there is schar and einish. And Hashem pays us accordingly to our actions. A man gets health, sustenance, and covered according to what he deserves. All this is said with regard to spiritual matters, where a person's choices are his own. As far as material matters, he should know, he should also do what's necessary as a servant of Hashem. He should know that there his success depends on what Hashem wants. Many people, Rav Miller makes a very strong, straight statement. Many people have sincerely tried to become wealthy and have not succeeded. But no person has sincerely tried to learn Torah to be a firm Jew has failed. There's no such thing. Before, the author spoke of a pitui hayeta, tries persuading people to say that when it comes to Avodas Hashem, and Hashem's in charge. That's what the Eitzah says. Comes with a firm argument. B'tochen. He's the one who brings us to good midas, to lamdas, to emunah. He's in charge of everything. When it comes to things of Kashmir, you think it's all dependent on you, but that's just the opposite of the truth. Ruchnius is dependent on us. Kashmir all depends on Hashem. When it comes to matters of this world, you should conduct yourself minhag mishin is baraloi ki kesher kotnu oisov his hapkos inyano b'zeres sabar yisala. As one who's convinced, how do you relate this world? As one who's convinced that all his movements and his experiences depend on the decree of Hashem. That's how you have to know. You got to go through the actions. We talked about this in Bitochen and Shara Bitochen. You have to do Yishtadlis. And the same time that you're doing the Yishtadlis, you have to believe that the result is totally Hashem's decree, whatever He decrees. And so you should trust in Hashem to determine that. And you cast your burden on Hashem, as it says. Cast your burden on Hashem. And He will sustain you. He'll never allow the faltering of the righteous. When it comes to spiritual matters, don't rely on Hashem. Don't say, I'm throwing it on Hashem. Let Hashem take care of it. No, get busy and do what He told you to do because He said, says Ramil. Here is a mitzvah. He brings on the bottom. I've called heaven and earth today to witness against you. I've placed life and death before you. And Hashem says, you should choose life. It's your choice. So that you and your, so that you and your, so that you and your offspring will live. Okay, so that's number 4, number 6, excuse me. The 6th enticement was to sell you the story that when it comes to Avodas Hashem, you should have bitochen. It's in Hashem's hands. Hashem runs the world. And yet when it comes to worldly things, do everything you can because it's all in your hands. And the truth is, it's the opposite. Number 7 is do it later. Oh, wow. The new approach. Again, when the Yitzhahara despairs of convincing you, of enticing you in the above method, he'll try a new approach. The Yitzhahara doesn't give up so quickly. Truly, whatever you want to accomplish in serving the Creator and in dedicating His actions, your actions to His name, you could do it later. In other words, you didn't buy in, especially to the last one, to number 6, and you really believe it's in my hands. I have to do the avodah. That's what Hashem put on me. B'charta b'chayim. And Hashem, Yerushalayim's in my hands. I'm the one who has to make the choices. I'm the one who has to do it. But the Tzara tells you, not right now. You can do it later. You have time. What's your rush? You're only 85 and have many years to live, maybe 1,000 years to live. Rabbi said, I'm a little bit older than all of you here. And yeah, believe it or not, I really am. And for some reason, right, I'm almost pushing 70, right? Now you all know 70 is old. A few years. I'm not 69 yet, but I'm close. 70 years is old, Rabbi. You gotta hurry up. How long you live? 80, 90? Like, and yet I don't feel that. I don't feel at all. I feel I'm 35 or 20. I feel fine. I have plenty of time. And that's the Eight Sahara. He said the Shari Tshuva says something. Rabbeinu Yonah says something. We have in the world, you have the seven wonders of the world. They have seven wonders. He has number 8. He says it's Menatem. It's from one of the wonders that a person crosses half of his life. You go, 35. In Shivim Shana, Shmenim Shana. You turn 35. You already feel that it's not as easy to walk up the stairs. Ariganovsky used to say, I remember, he says he doesn't know what happened, but Matzadik got much higher than it used to be. He doesn't understand what happened. It got much higher, right? He says, your body's starting to slow down. You feel it, You look in the mirror and you have less hair on your head, because all these are gifts from Hashem to awaken you. You shouldn't feel when you're almost 7 years old that you got so much time ahead of you. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't depress you, but it's just a little tickle, Wake up and get busy. But the Yetzer is so smart, right? He doesn't. When you're your age, you look at someone who's 7 years, say, man, he's ancient, and of course, you better hurry up. Right? But let me tell you, don't fool yourself, because I fool myself. And it doesn't get you anywhere. You know what I mean? You're going to be my age and you still feel the same way, that there's plenty of time. I can do it tomorrow. Don't worry. So the Eitzahara says, and Rabbeinu Yonah says, it's
I'm only 35. I feel old.
You feel old. Okay. He says, one of the wonders, how could it be that
I have socks older than you.
What's that?
I have socks older than him.
TMI.
This is what Eitzahara tells us. Ratzvi Maya Silverberg, I think we said it over already when he was in Kailo with us, the famous Mashpia, and Ray Berry and some of the Chevron went and asked him, how do you do it? He would come running into base medrash in the morning, sit down in his seat, open his Gemara, and start out loud learning, and there's no stopping. I don't even think he was learning the Chavruset. But a whole Seder, there's no such thing as breaks, nothing. And they asked how you do it, and he started shaking. He said, every minute is life. What do you mean? How could you not do it? A minute went by, goodbye. No, every minute is precious. But the Eitzahara, he says, this is the 7th enticement. Do it later. You started with them. The Eitzahara, well, now, he didn't get to it the other way. Yeah, I know it's in my hands, but what you want to accomplish in serving Hashem and dedicating your actions. That's what we're learning, right? Yichud HaMaisa. You'll do it later at a future time. I'll finish shots then. I'll do it tomorrow. This is Rav Miller, with his sarcasm. You're only 85 and have many years to live, maybe 1,000 years. These are the best years of your life. Why not wait until the last possible moment to take on the burden of serving Hashem? Rav says this is one of the most persuasive of all enticements of the Eitzahara. And again, you got to remember, it's not like the Eitzahara, you the Eitzahara as some person outside and you're having this debate with him. Unless you're really attuned to yourself and you hear the debate in your head, but it feels like you're saying. That's the hard part when you deal with all these things. It feels like you're saying, I'll do it tomorrow. It's not you, it's the Eitzahara telling you, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later. Right now, I got to rest a little. One way or the other, it's something that everybody is thinking. Everybody says, someday I'll get around to it. I can't help but remember, says Ramel, the tragic case of a young married man who had studied in a good yeshiva. I said, why don't you come to learn sometime? He said, I'm going to be busy until 40, and then I'll have made my pile. When I'm 40, I'm going to drop everything and learn all day long. But sadly, he didn't make it till 40. I was at his deathbed. His kidneys shut down long before he turned 40. Now that's the story with everybody. Everybody says, I can't do it today, maybe tomorrow. It's how it keeps telling him, what you could do tomorrow, don't do today. Let's say a young man is 38, and the Yitzhar says, what's the hurry in getting married now? Uh-oh, guys. I didn't set this up. I didn't write these lines. What's the hurry in getting married now? Everybody will get it. Eventually you'll get married. And so he waits until he's finally too old to get a girl, have children. Ultimately, he's too old to have a girl at all. Rabbi said, let's go. Simcha, you listening? You're listening? Simcha. Time to find a girl. Let's go. The Yitzhar encourages you to believe that even if you have only one day left to live, you could serve Hashem properly, befitting for one day before your death. If you have one day left to live, you'll be able to do it then. You do it tomorrow. You will merit eternal reward and be freed from punishment as long as you do sincere truth at that time. So I have another day. So tomorrow, and after you already know the ways of tshuva and what it takes for Hashem to accept it, just serve him wholeheartedly on that final day as properly required. You can plan on doing a full tshuva on the last day, and you'll thereby be tzaddik gomer. You'll die in a perfect man. So what are you worried about? What's the hurry? But there's a response. The response. Don't believe this argument, this persuasive suggestion. Instead, you should revert to the correct argument. For haLevavos is the term. Respond as follows. How can I wait until the day before I die? I don't know what they'll die. How many people die suddenly, unexpectedly? Right? I don't know if he's going to quote it. It's the famous thing. The Gemara says, well, how do you know when that is? This is the Adar Aleph. Do it every day, and that way all your days will be in tshuva. This is the response. I'm going to be like that servant. Who believe that his master, the king, would never remove him from the service for all the days of his life. He started, let's see what this is. He started neglecting his duties and thinking, my master, the king, surely will never fire me from my job. I'll always get back my job and do a good job again. So he gets involved, he indulges himself in worldly pleasures. In his effort to enjoy life, serving the king became a burden, and he neglected his work. Right? That's what we do. We get involved in this world, and our voice Hashem becomes a pain. But he was confident that the king trusted him, would always keep him in his present position of authority. He does his work without any interest anymore. However, one day the king's servant was unexpectedly called before the king. To give an accounting on his avodah. Did he do his job? He had no excuses to defend or justify himself. As a result, he was dismissed from the king's service and expelled from all the cities of the kingdom. He left the king penniless. And in a state of depression for having failed to save money or acquire property over the years of his service to the king. In the time when he had the opportunity to do so. He didn't save up because he was busy spending his money for good times. He said, someday I'll start saving money. I'll earn more money, save up a good old age, for a good old age. But now he found himself on the street, fired without a penny to his name. And so he remained always like poor and destitute. Despondent, downcast, mournful, and wretched to the day of his death. He says this story illustrates the life of a man who's negligent about doing his mitzvahs. He thinks that whatever he didn't do today, he'll do it tomorrow. Take it easy now. Sure, the job, Hashem gave me a job. I'll get to it. I'll get done. But when it's time for him to move to the next world, he'll be very sorry for not preparing himself with mitzvahs. When he had the opportunity, he had youth, he had health, he had years. Could have done so many good things, and now he's so sorry forever and ever. He looks back and sees nothing but regret and sadness and wasted opportunities. I like to call this, we say in Baruch Shalom, that Hashem is Omer v'Oiser. He says and he does. No, I say and I'll do it tomorrow. Hashem is Omer v'Oiser. No pushing off. Today I have a mitzvah. Today I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it now, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day. And this is a normal thing. We do it all over in our lives, you know. I do it all over the place, you know. Push it off. I'll do it soon. Your wife asks you for something, I'll do it. Yeah. Why don't you just do it? Well, it's going to be different later if you do it later, right? It's going to be easier. No. Why not do it now? Anything you have to do, why not do it now? Why will it be late? It's Yetzer Hara. It's all right, and we apply it to all so much. How much Gemara, how much Torah could we have learned? Could we learn? We just do it. I can't do a lot to do a page now, do a line now, do 2 lines. Unbelievable how it adds up, right? And that's the Yetzer Hara saying, okay, I believe and I know and I should and I will. And of course I will and I want, but just not now. And then we find out that suddenly we're almost 70. Okay. Don't worry, I'm not depressed. It's fine. Have a great night, everybody. Mitzvah Hashem tomorrow. Mitzvah Hashem will do number 8. Mitzvah Hashem.